I've always prided myself on being nice. Being viewed as a kind person has always been a priority to me, unless someone gives me attitude, in which case I'm not afraid to stand up for myself. But over the years, my being nice has gotten me in trouble with boys. I find that some boys, at least in school years, mistake kindness from a girl as flirting. Guys who don't interact with the opposite sex all that often regard the unsuspected warmth as a girl having feelings for them. Which, yeah, sounds a bit sad, but it seems to me they just aren't mature enough to differentiate between friendly female interactions and others. One time this got me in trouble was with a guy back in freshman year of high school. We'll call him Jack. The first time we met was in my geometry class. Jack was one grade above me, so I didn't actually know who he was at first. The class required us to do warm-ups on the whiteboard, and a few days into the year, we eventually found ourselves working right next to each other. The months went on, and this guy began talking to me more often. Maintaining my nice standard, I, of course, put on a smile in every conversation and was friendly. But our harmless conversations evolved. He began to flirt. One day I was with my bestest friend in the class. We'll call her Daisy. Our desks were right next to each other, so we were standing around them and chatting after finishing warm-ups early. Jack made his way over to us along with a friend of his. I was wearing my tennis uniform because I had a competition after school. Jack asked about my uniform, and when I told him I was a tennis player, he responded, "Ah, so that's how you stay so skinny."
What are you doing?
Okay, so you might be thinking, that's not really flirting. But it was, trust me. He made a flirtatious face and was clearly trying to flatter me because I was, and still am, chubby. He probably said what he thought I wanted to hear. And yes, I'm aware this comes off a bit offensive. The only reasoning I could really give for this is he's just a really bad flirter. Now let me clarify. I had no romantic feelings for this guy at all. He was a mere classmate who I had friendly conversation with from time to time. As I realized that he had feelings for me, I was kinda in trouble. I didn't want to lead him on, but I also didn't want to start being cold to him on purpose to make him back off. So I kept being nice. It was a downward spiral, and soon enough, the situation got even worse. One day after class, Jack came up to me and asked what my next competition was. I told him it was happening the next day. Then he asked where it would be happening. I smiled, a bit confused, and began to worry that he may have wanted to come and watch me play. The game was an away game, so I told him the name of the school my team and I were playing at. He then proceeded to take out his phone, type the school name in, and show me Google Maps. "This one, right?" he asked. I confirmed that was the right school. Then he said he wanted to come watch me play. I didn't believe him. I thought there was no way he was serious. I laughed, taking it as a joke, and then left the classroom. The next day, he didn't even say anything about it, which led me to believe he really was kidding. So I went on about my day, eventually finding myself on the court, ready to compete at the rivaling school. I was chosen to play singles first, which is basically one-on-one, and I was already on the court warming up with my opponent when I saw two guys walk up outside of the court fencing. I took a closer look and was mortified. Jack was standing there with another friend of his. We made eye contact, and I think he shouted something or might have just waved. But I was shocked. I never thought that he would actually come to the game. The show had to go on. My opponent was ready to play for realsies, and I had to maintain my composure and fight the good fight. But I quickly realized that having Jack there was a huge distraction. I wasn't playing my best and started to sort of panic. So after the first couple games, I ran over to where my team was sitting outside the court. Through the fencing, I called over two of my friends on the team. I told him who the two boys were and explained that the one boy, who I thought to have a crush on me, was distracting me from my focus. I begged them to get the boys to leave somehow, some way. They agreed to help like the angels that they were, and we headed off in opposite directions. I began to play again when I saw, in the corner of my eye, my friends talking to the two boys. By God's good grace, and with my friend's help, I saw the boys walk off and they never came back. Later on, my friend explained what happened. She spoke to Jack and basically told him that I said he was distracting me from focusing on the game and that he had to leave. Jack then obliged and left with his buddy. I was so grateful to my friends for helping me out. I am forever indebted to them, seriously. Thankfully, after the incident, Jack backed off quite a bit. I don't think he had much to say about what happened at the competition. He might have said that I played well or something like that, but nothing more. He seemed to take the hint and didn't pursue me further. I probably should include that he actually asked me out to dinner somewhere in this timeline, but I forgot when exactly it happened, so I didn't include that in the story. The whole experience taught me that I can't let things like that go too far. If I pick up on guys getting the wrong idea, it's best for me to turn their misunderstanding of my niceness right around as quickly as I can. It's still something that I'm working on, and I definitely have other stories of similar misunderstandings, but but those instances just weren't as interesting to tell a story on. All I can say is, I know you might want to be nice to everyone, but some boys get the wrong idea, so it's good to be careful around the guys who confuse kindness for a crush. A little tough love can serve you well in these situations, and help to avoid interactions falling further and further down the rabbit hole, like things did with Jack. Thanks so much for watching. This is my first animated story time. Let me know what you guys thought, and if you guys have requests. Lots of love, and I will see you guys in the next one.